Okay, there we go. It lagged for a moment there.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of Weaving Myths Season 5. We're here to talk about tabletop role playing games and everything related to playing them online. I'm Eric, and joining me tonight from staff are Amy
Hello.
and Colin.
How's it going, everyone?
We're all
So
staff
late.
from Mythweavers, one of the largest play by post gaming websites in existence and home to the largest repository of online RPG character sheets anywhere on the web. As always, Weaving Myths airs live on Twitch on the first and third Saturdays of every month, and we're joined by the impeccable Twitch chat today. Hello, Twitch chat. Come on, you're supposed to say hi, people. Jimmy.
Since when do they perform on demand?
I don't know. We've only been at this for, 5 years now, Colin?
Yeah, we made Chimmy's staff. Speaking of mistakes.
And Amy. Lots happened in 5 years.
Oh boy.
So,
Has
yes.
it really been that long?
Yes, it's really been that long.
Yeah, scary.
Alright, so,
Colin.
5 years. We've come a long way since that whimsical little oops pilot episode, the one where Nathan's innocent little idea of let's have a live event to connect everyone kind of grew into, oh god, chaos, and we're doing a podcast now, and what's happening? Mom!
Wait, is that when I came in?
No, you came in later.
Yeah, no,
So-
the first episode didn't even have audio for everyone involved. It was kind of a cluster.
It was Nathan reading what we, or not reading, but quoting what got said, yes. So anyway, a lot has changed. Nathan breathed life into this thing and then worked last season as the producer, and now Nathan's taking a break from things. So since then, the site's grown some. The Discord grew significantly, especially after a couple downtime incidents.
Excitement.
Amy came
We're
out
still-
pretty early on as the behind the scenes, and now she's on staff and a regular participant. I grew out
Yeah.
my beard. I shaved my beard. I grew it back. Eric became an admin, grew out his hair.
Yeah.
It's still grown
Ooh.
out. We're not sure what's going on there.
We don't ask him.
I'm trying to catch Rodrigo. It's just never going to work. I can't look as good as him.
Started.
It's redacted.
Yeah, I was going to say, Eric started using redacted as a noun, verb, and adjective in his rambles, and we went through, the aforementioned site major outage, and now the pandemic. So in 5 seasons, we've covered a lot of actual ground in this podcast. We've covered the mechanics of the site, we've covered site rules, we've covered games, we've covered player and game master archetypes, we've talked about elements of storytelling, how to deal with changes in enthusiasm, adding and losing players, and sometimes even when you just got to kill the game. In Season 5, though, we're going to tackle something we haven't really touched on before, which is game genres.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a biggie, and it is. Yeah, this may go for more than one season. Because we're actually trying a experimental way of how to cover it. So it may go. It's kind of a
We're not
fluid.
always going to agree. I mean, that's the one
No.
thing is that we always tried to create in those first 5 seasons of episode notes was we all had a common voice and we're like we're here to produce information and talk about it. But now we're going to argue.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm too much of a whip. Game genres. What is a genre? Basically,
Let's go to the dictionary. Dictionary defines a game genre as a common form, style, or subject matter.
okay, that makes no sense to anyone.
Okay. What do we care about then?
Basically,
We're here on the
how
site
do I
to play
put it?
games. I mean,
Yeah.
if we're here to play games, what does a genre matter?
how we attract other participants into our games. So we need to figure out those basic, I guess, simple keywords for advertisements. And and we need to know those to advertise, and then those to pick up on what is being played. So we go, huh? Is that something, or is it just meh?
So it's something that I'm interested in.
Yeah, yeah. And oh gosh, what kind of elements are involved? Yeah, basically landed. That's part of the genre. Figuring those out is figuring out the genre, and then it also helps find related resources. That's why some people are really good at Google Foo. They have, whether consciously or subconsciously, developed those concepts so they know what keywords to put in to get those things, those images or music or just whatever.
Settings and adventures on Drive-Through
Mm-hmm.
RPG. I mean, goodness,
Yeah,
if you put in the wrong
exactly.
keywords, you have 3,000 results that are all gack. When all you really wanted was a D&D 5th edition adventure that's for levels 1 to 4.
Yeah.
But that's not really a genre. A genre is more of an idea. The elements that are tell you the kind of story. Landed's right. Fantasy is a genre. It's actually multiple genres. We actually already spent a lot of time arguing about this.
We have the
God,
entire season planned
I mean,
before the season started.
and then decided, oh my gosh, there's too much for one season.
yeah, and so we blew it up.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is basically going through what we went through. I mean, we have to figure out, the basic overarching genre. Fantasy, sci-fi, historical, fiction, nonfiction. Those are big, those are broad, they don't encompass everything.
Lizard folk from Alpha Centauri dominate the world. Yeah, that could cross over a couple of things that we're going to talk about for sure.
More of the
That sounds
plot
like
line at that detail level.
yeah, but
yeah.
But there's sci-fi elements to that. Do you consider that to be like some fantasy because it's got that alternative humanoid races thing going for it?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it aliens? Are they lizard folk aliens, or are they like awakened reptiles? Who
No,
knows?
we should have had Doff on for this one. Gonzo dystopian science fantasy. Yeah,
Yeah,
now
yeah,
that is
Speaking
a
of things
genre.
we're going to cover,
yeah. We're gonna get there.
Actually, yeah.
But why did we settle on this in the first place? That is really what I want to know, because we went through a long planning episode. We're like, what are we going to talk about in season 5? We're going to talk about the same things that we touched on before. We're just rehash and get better at what we're doing. Amy is like, no, we need to tackle this. Well, what
Because
is this? Why are we doing this?
it's the elephant in the room that we comment on but have never defined, never explained, and never gone into detail on, so that people can come to an understanding and go, I've never tried that, but you know what? That actually has points that sound interesting. I might want to try it now. Which is kind of why I wanted to try and tackle it.
Elephant in the room is a terrible genre. Thank you, Tiffany. Oh, well.
All right, the
best
800-pound gorilla. How's that?
So tropish.
Uh,
All right, so Amy hit on a good point there, that different game genres emphasize different parts of the story. If you're going for something that is, say, urban fantasy, you're really trying to go for the grit and the intricate details of that kind of inner city type environment, where that's more important than necessarily the broad overarching societal goings on. You're really focused on that inner detail. Whereas if you're doing, I don't know, epic fantasy, drop the ring in the lava campaign, you're talking about the journey and the places you visit and the people you meet along the way, and the changes that happen external to you.
Yeah. Gosh, what do we add here? There's just so much. Um, what are you laughing about?
I'm just watching your brain melt. It's a favorite
Yeah,
pastime.
Well, this is where Colin, after sipping his
Gloria, can you
drink,
hit him?
is gonna talk about
So,
tools,
yes.
given that we see his entire backdrop there of gigantic engineering
Yes, the
3D printing tool.
backdrop. The new background for all future podcasts.
Yay!
So, as I scroll to the right
Col-
place in the notes. So,
Colin, why can't I do D&D 3.5 in space?
You can.
because some things do not translate well, as you know.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta have the right tool for the job. I have my best boy over here telling me, "Here's a blondie, eat it on stream. I want to see it."
So professional. We are
Yeah,
so professional. Even after 5 years,
We started on
nothing's
time. We
changed.
went live at 8
yeah, we did
with a 10-minute countdown, but
with a 10-minute
damn
countdown.
it was live.
You're right.
Exactly, Bookworm. Spelljammer.
Yeah,
Um,
MC Book were
that's
pulling
Well,
out
but
Spelljammer.
the point is that Spelljammer was designed to do that. It was designed to talk
Yes.
about the traveling and the space and the interconnections between the environment that you're in and the ship and the
well, and
Jimmy.
then Eric Mona in a Dragon magazine took 3.0 and tweaked it for the new version of Spelljammer. So you could probably just take the same information from that, convert it to 3.5, and there you have your 3.5 in space.
Right. But that's the point, I think, is exactly what Colin was saying earlier about having the right tool. He's
It's
not going to.
Yeah,
yeah, it's not that, you can't, take 3.5 and put it in a dystopian sci-fi future with humans only. It's not that you can't do it. It's that the system was never really designed with that level of modularity in mind from its base concept. So it's going to be a really hacky homebrew potential mess. And then you've got to have players that go, yes, I want to learn effectively half a system's worth of homebrew just to play this 3.5 when, I could be playing Cyberpunk,
Yeah.
which is more suited to that dystopian sci-fi. Even made for.
yeah. Well, yeah, but how many people know that game?
Right, but point is, there are systems that are purpose built for certain things, and it's not that you can't hack a system you really love into something else. It's that if a system is developed specifically for, high fantasy, more Tolkien-esque RPGs, it's gonna be a nightmare to translate because they didn't design it thinking about, oh, someone's gonna want to run, Warhammer 40,000 and with this rule set. That wasn't a consideration. No, they're doing high fantasy. You can. It's a matter of effort. Is there perhaps something better you can use that doesn't cost an arm and a leg to, get the rules for that others would be
Yeah.
willing to play?
Yeah, I mean that's really the key aspect that circles it back to Mythweavers is that there's an effort to learn things and an effort to learn things that you're kind of building on the fly, trying to repurpose. So force fitting it can actually take away from what you're trying to get at, which is the exciting parts about the game. If you are taking a system that has no concept of making travel between one place and another a thing, then you're not going to be able to focus on that if the journey is part of the equation. D&D is all
Okay.
about exploration and like hex crawling type things rather than the scenarios that you'll encounter. That's why you have all these external
Right.
tools to kind of shim into there.
All right. Well, let's start from the high level. Um, and then we can go into more finer detail so people know what tools they need to look for. So, we have several high level genres that people know, and
Well,
it comes pretty easy.
important disclaimer. This is what a group of us have all come up with. People may disagree with some of our classifications or categorizations, but we think we're pretty on the money with most of this as far as, what's high level, what's kind of like a lower level descriptive subgenre almost. So,
Yeah.
common themes and subject matters that we've seen a lot. The high level ones we've seen a lot. You've got your sci-fis, which is you've got hard sci-fis, you've got kind of softer sci-fis. You've got
Space opera.
your space
Yeah.
operas. You've got your fantasies, and that can be your high fantasy, which is traditionally Dungeons and Dragons,
Lots of
Pathfinder,
magic. Lots
lots
of
of
Yeah.
magic.
races.
Magic's common as all get out. And then you've got your low fantasy settings where magic is less
Conan.
common. Conan's a great example.
Legends and myths are still there. You've got the things that go bump in the night and the weird creatures that you
Yep.
run into in the deep, like Grendel. Beowulf
Yeah.
is a great low fantasy
Yeah.
setting.
No, Beowulf is fantastic. That's a good one.
I don't have to preach stars without number or worlds without number because Tiffany is doing it for me in the chat.
That's right.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Get your own acolyte of the without number systems.
We're getting to
Yes.
that one.
Oh, Lovecraft. Yeah, we're going to get there here
We're
in a second.
getting there. So, yeah, you've got your high fantasy, your low fantasy. You've got your historical fiction settings, past or modern
Period
settings.
drama.
Your period dramas. Sometimes with tweaks. Again, that's getting there. Then you've got your moderns. Your modern genres, you're going to have your urban fantasies, your near futures, your near pasts, stuff set in, maybe the
World War
70s or the
II.
80s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'd classify, and we
That
can
is
disagree
more-
on this a bit as well, where historical and modern
Yeah.
deviate. What's recent
Like-
past and what's historical past.
Current Call of Duty Cold War is near past. World War II is historical.
Right.
Within a
Yeah.
generation, I think it
You're-
becomes
you're-
near past and then historical.
Subject to
Yeah.
interpretation a bit on that line.
It's a rough edge. I'd kind of call it, if the people that you're talking about are dead, then it's not near past anymore.
Yeah.
If it's
I'd
close enough
accept
to be
Are
the people are
dead
still
or
alive.
most are dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then you're kind of in that border of. Well, I'm not going to talk about worldly talk, but
Yes.
there's definitely more possibility for the worldly talk the nearer past you get, and that's kind of that dividing line of people get real angsty about their living parents and
Yes.
siblings.
Yeah, the modern
Yeah.
history games are where you can get into a little difficulty as far as the site rules, because sometimes it's hard to shoehorn that setting with site policies.
Yeah, Tiff
Yeah.
points out alt fiction. That's going to kind of traverse a lot of things. Colin's laying out kind of the common subject matters, but then there's
the bulk stuff, and then we're gonna get into both subgenres, and then the way a lot of the main genres will treat other main genres as a subgenre.
yeah, it's kind of the form of your game rather
Yeah.
than the
What's
rather
your
than the subject matter
primary
itself.
theme, and then you're choosing your secondary themes.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the last one we've really got is your larger than life settings. And larger than life, that's where you get into your pulp style stories, your superhero stories.
I would even say noir, which I would think is actually probably pulp, subgenre of pulp, would be on the
I could
larger.
see noir.
Right. I mean, even James Bond fits into that genre where
Yes.
it's an ordinary person, but they're just better than everyone else.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Indiana
yeah,
Jones and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And your
Okay.
the supers I think fit in there as well. Yeah.
Mhm.
Much
meta
larger than
genres,
life.
pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's really what we kind of hashed out as, this is what we view as like the major genres. If you're running a game, I
Yeah,
mean,
I
we
mean
could
there.
have missed something, but as far as we're concerned, after going through this, pretty much
Yeah.
if you're running a game, it's gonna fall within one of those main themes, those main genres.
I mean,
There are a couple of things that we didn't include because we don't see them on the site because they're not necessarily either with site rules or just it's not like the crime setting is really hard to pull off on play by post. Please, for the love of no romance. I mean,
oh,
like the
come on.
romance novels, the
Oh,
bodice
no, no,
rippers.
okay.
Please, no,
Yeah. No,
no, no.
you cannot pull
Bodice
off
rippers, no,
We do
a
not need
Danielle
a
Steele.
Twilight play-by-post, please.
no. But a
But
rom com, yeah, you could
Underworld is totally fine too. Musicals are banned. Challenge accepted.
musicals are a subgenre.
Okay, fine. Yeah. But to Tiffany's
Sorry.
point that Supers is technically its own thing, I think it's just kind of the larger than life people amped up to the next notch of they're really that much larger than the rest of us. But
Mm-hmm.
it's still mostly ordinary people around. It's not like you've got supers
Everyone is
and
super powered.
supers and dwarves and elves.
If
Or
everyone was supers, then that wouldn't be a supers game. That would be normal. That's everyone.
just
That's
high powered.
yeah. Everyone is high-powered people.
Exactly. So secondary, I guess we're calling the secondary. We've got the meta genres, and then we have the, I guess let's call them micro genres. You get on your adventure.
This is your game structure, really, is how I see it. How I'm going to structure
structure.
what's going on.
Yeah, adventure. This is about the dungeon crawl or the campaign, the big epic story you have to do, where it's either, it could be a short campaign, a couple of modules that you figured out, or one of the adventure paths that you've seen, or the big epic like Tolkien.
But it doesn't have to be fantasy. Adventure is about about going and doing a thing in a place. The place is an important integral part of what you're doing.
Star Wars was an adventure.
Yeah.
And
we ignored all of the time between the planets because it wasn't relevant.
Exactly.
So, bam, you did your diagonal wipe across the screen, and now you were in a different star system somewhere else.
Yeah, the quest is the thing. More of a frontier type of structure where you do get that travelogue, where the travel and the interaction during the travel is really important. Or your Kingmaker from Pathfinder is a perfect example. It's a fantasy example, but it's perfect. Example, Stars Without Numbers. There's a couple of.
She said it, not me. She said
Yeah.
it.
Or even Deadlands.
Which way am I
where
pointing?
it's
damn leg.
You're kind of pointing to Amy on my screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's where you have settlements
Hey,
and
that's
outposts.
the right direction.
And so being out there in the kind of wilderness and the travails that you experience and the bonding of the characters across the activity of moving from one place to another is what's important.
Yeah. How you get there. Let's see, what would be another science fiction type of. The Martian would be a very good example as far as a movie that was more of the frontier, how he got from A to B. And you saw time passing, you saw that travel, and it was important.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's a
And I think
central theme verse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely important to recognize that not all of these are going to match up with each other, particularly when it's in the play-by-post environment. if you are writing a dungeon adventure, absolutely don't spend chapter after chapter talking about the walk from one town to the dungeon. A, it's going to bore your players. B, it's not what the focus of your game is. So you're spending time on the things that aren't exciting.
Okay.
I almost killed my first game exactly like that. It's like, yeah, we're going to walk and talk to introduce the characters, and they were like,
Yeah, this is boring.
uh-huh. Yeah.
It's not what we signed up
Okay.
for.
No. All right. Time jump.
The classification of Lord of the Rings in the Clerks movies.
That's a good one, Landon. The
Walk,
sublight episode.
walk.
I would
Kick a
argue
rock,
the
walk.
Wheel of Time was just
Oh, Wheel of
Jordan's
Time did it too.
fascination. But I would argue it's more Jordan's fascination with anthropology and civil than actually a travelogue. It was supposed to be a big epic story, and he just he was an anthropologist at heart. He liked talking about cultures, and that's what ended up happening.
I mean, Tolkien.
Which hurt less than Tolkien and his let me talk about every intricacy of every language I've created.
Well, the languages aside,
Again,
he did a very good travelogue of the character development on the way. The Moria itself was
How some
described very
individuals-
briefly.
How some individuals react to that person in the group that keeps going, are we there yet?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You could almost argue that Tolkien was doing a psychology study.
It would surprise me. He was probably working out what it's almost, and sorry to get a little worldly talk, but you'd almost say it was a cathartic kind of working out his PTSD from World War I with Samwise and Frodo as well.
True.
Trying to tell his children about that great war without telling them what he went through.
Mm-hmm.
So
When
it kind of
you've
was
got
a psychology thing.
two
Yes.
hobbits lying on a fiery mountainside, which doesn't look at all like the Somme in France, but it's not a whole lot different, and just saying, why are we here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know Tolkien denies it, but
It could have been a subconscious thing.
it
Or
wasn't his.
Freud would say it likely was, but
Yeah.
Write what you know.
exactly. You write what you know. Next
Back
one
on
is,
topic.
of course, the next one, of course, is everybody's favorite, apocalyptic. You've got
How's
your
that go again,
post-apocalyptic. I can't talk. Don't ask me.
Apocalyptic.
Apocalyptic.
After the dance.
But you've got your post-apocalyptic genre, which everybody knows. But there is a pre. I think it's the current Shannara series that is kind of working up to the apocalypse that created the world of Shannara in the beginning.
Yeah.
Which few people realize is a post-apocalyptic setting.
Yeah. The a movie example might be like oh dang, what is that one? Not Deep Impact, the other asteroid one.
What about Rise of the Planet of the Apes?
Yeah, that works too. But I was thinking the
Or
Bruce
Dawn,
Bruce Willis
Asteroid.
Bruce Willis
Armageddon.
Armageddon. That's the one I was going for. It started with an A. I just couldn't find it. Armageddon. Yeah.
Yeah, they
Thank you,
saved
Logan.
the world from Armageddon, but
Exactly.
but yeah,
Sometime, or Terminator 2.
yeah.
Yeah, those are your pre-apocalyptics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can
Or
see
even
that.
3, really. I mean, with the Skynet is already there. Whoops. We turned it on. Dang us. Hey, I don't want to miss a single thing, Logan.
I just choose to say, okay, Terminator 2, and then the most recent one is Terminator 3, and ignore everything that happened between them.
Yeah, we could have a whole Highlander discussion about that, but we're not going to.
No, please
Instead, we'll
don't
transition.
mention that.
All right.
That would
And
be
then
a
Leaving
horror.
myths after dark topics.
Yeah, that's a different horror.
Lovecraft was mentioned earlier, so horror could fit in any of the meta genres that we mentioned. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, sci-fi horror. Aliens, anybody?
Hmm.
there you go.
Your eldritches, your abominations, your undeads, your slashers.
Yeah,
Look at Indiana Jones 2. There was a bit of horror in that. Let's be
Mhm.
honest.
It was.
Kalima.
And I'm not talking
You
about
betrayed
acting. I'm
Sheba.
actually, yeah, exactly. Uh, it, yeah, these subgenres are the forms that we're using. Yeah, they fit
I
in a
mean,
lot of things.
you can totally do a slasher, a period slasher, and you've a Ripper.
Oh, that could be so fun. A steampunk slasher
Slasher.
versus. Oh my god!
You're
You
giving me
know, a
ideas.
problem we failed to anticipate when we went, oh, we'll talk about genres. We failed to anticipate us sitting here going, oh, this would be a fun setup.
I know, right?
Pee-wee's
Oops.
Big Adventure is horror. Yes. It looked like this. No, I'm good.
And then dystopian doesn't have to be post-apocalyptic. Again,
Yeah.
cyberpunk. There's no apocalypse. It's just
Things
It's
degraded.
cyberpunk.
society's there. It's just
Crumbled.
Yeah, it's not.
Crumbled or stagnant with only a small select group at the top. And
You can have
Yeah.
your alternate history too. I mean, you can have,
Yep.
oh, this event went the other way, and so now we ended up in a dark place where we didn't.
Well, yeah, and there's Harry Turtledove is more lighthearted, but he does a lot of. Hey, we're from Kentucky. Now we're in 1692. That was yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I loved Turtle Dove's Civilization series, though.
Man
Wow.
in the High Castle. That's a good one. He couldn't. Oh, story about that one. It was actually never finished. It was such a dark place. He couldn't finish it. He said, "I needed help." It took him to such a dark place, even with his other issues that he had.
Hmm.
At least he has an excuse, unlike Martin.
Yeah, Martin's just slow, and he admits that too.
Yeah.
How
Ready
many
Player
missed,
One.
deadlines?
Look, when you're making millions, deadlines kind of
Yeah.
don't matter, right?
Yeah.
Who cares about the fans anyway?
Ready
just there
Player
to buy your
One,
book.
good one.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, man. I mean, you're talking your Blade Runner falls into this.
Yeah, that's dystopian, but it's not. I mean, their society it hasn't completely crumbled,
Right.
but it
Well,
is.
it's
has
never a
the-
complete crumble. It's like a regression to a stagnant position.
Mm-hmm.
Complete societal crumble is post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, you're post-apocalyptic when you've got your zombies have overrun the world and it's just pockets of humans there, or robots have overrun the world and there's just pockets of humans there. But
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, and those are the type of things that people are looking for to get their mind around the characters that they want to make, and those type of forms are what kind of are the glue that holds everything together.
Mhm.
And then you've got the meta genre that ball of glue has been placed into.
And then you have your mix and match, which already got brought up earlier. Star Wars is sci-fi fantasy.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sci-fi is
Yeah.
your main genre. Fantasy is a subgenre
They've got
in
magic.
that case.
Right. It's got magic. It's got aliens. It's got blasters. It's got
Mhm.
ships in space, but they do things that no science could possibly imagine. I mean, your hard sci-fi is going to be the first topic that we actually tackle. Not this coming episode, because that's going to be tabletop. But the episode after that, we're going straight into hard sci-fi because we're not going to go easy on ourselves.
Which is where, using your literary examples, that's where you've got stuff like your David Weber sci-fi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where you don't just magically transport yourself from one planet to another. That's a lifetime journey. When you decide to leave Earth, you're not coming back.
Yeah, the Expanse. You could even say like Mass Effect
Mm-hmm.
is pretty hard sci-fi. Destiny is more science fantasy. And it's more hard sci-fi than something like Destiny or Star Wars.
Right.
Mass Effect.
Diaspora.
It has psionics.
Yeah.
Using the Force. They're using the Force to create space singularities that they throw at enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
Whereas your Stargate is going to be like your modern sci-fi.
But no, I mean, before Chimi strangles me, Mass Effect is... I'd call it soft sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It
it's
wants to
not
pretend to be hard
necessarily
sci-fi,
going
but
for any fantasy elements. It's just, the science isn't necessarily what we'd consider accurate.
yeah, okay, good point.
But
Whereas
there's
Star
nothing
Trek,
wrong with that. It can still be fun.
Star Trek is, I'd lean more towards hard sci-fi, but it's still soft sci-fi.
yeah.
They're finding that a lot of the science that they were making up is actually somewhat accurate, which is kind of funny.
If anyone wants a good, hard sci-fi read, get into the Honor Harrington series by David Weber.
Yep.
That's going to be your, hey, let's talk about hard science.
There are no dogfights in space.
No.
Space battles do not look like World War II fighters duking it out, making hard turns with rudders and ailerons when there's no matter there to actually push on.
And now,
Fusion
don't
non-pumped
take away,
lasers.
don't take away
That's
my
accurate.
Robotech. Okay, I love my Robotech.
There's nothing wrong with gigantic mecha. It's just not actually practical. It wouldn't work.
All right. Fair. Well, it might for building in space, but not. Anyway.
I mean, in
Anyways,
space, you're gonna be like, if I want to annihilate this culture over here, I'm not gonna create a gigantic fleet. I'm gonna aim a big asteroid and just fling it at them because I know where their planet's gonna be when it gets there.
Of them so that
Yeah.
it rotates. It
Yeah.
expands. Yeah. Babylon 5 did it first. Which part? Babylon 5 was a good show. I enjoyed it.
I couldn't get into it. I tried.
Yeah.
I think my issue with Babylon 5 is I didn't watch it when I was younger. I watched it as an adult after already seeing like stuff that came after it. Definitely took inspiration from it, and well, it kind of did it better just because they had that preceding example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I mean,
can't get into it.
The thing with Babylon 5, the tough thing about it is it's kind of like, do you like Deep Space Nine or not?
Yeah.
Because it's a frontier form. It's not an adventure form.
Well, yeah, the Star Trek was, he pitched it as wagon train in space. And Deep Space Nine was, don't get me started on that.
Hey, you want to watch me piss off some people in the chat? I liked Star Trek Enterprise.
Me too.
I thought it was a glorious intro series.
Yeah.
I thought it was fantastic. I love Scott Bakula.
Yeah, but I knew what Chimi was going to come back with.
Ripped off from Babylon 5.
See, there's Exalted.
Yep, here it comes.
Straczynski went to Paramount, pitched Babylon 5. They refused it. He got started making Babylon 5, and then they came out with DS9.
Mm-hmm.
They totally went, oh, actually, a space station show is not a bad idea.
Oh, I mean,
hey,
come on.
Janeway is the best captain.
Man, them's fighting words.
I
I
started
kind of agree with that, but I do think Patrick Stewart is the better actor.
That was poorly timed, Colin. We can't afford to lose any staff right now.
I can find more. There's a list.
Anyway.
Half of them volunteer themselves.
Yeah.
Crazy Navy types. I don't know. I mean,
Tiffany, the whole thing's a tangent. Let's be honest.
It's weaving myths. Of course, we're gonna tangent.
Oh, look.
but Enterprise was about a very specific thing, which was kind of the beginning of a genre, which kind of we didn't even touch on there, but that's the kind of the incipient edge of that frontier game.
Lex. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I'd classify Lex as.
Soft
Say that.
sci-fi minimum.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
we've got.
Okay. Anyway,
that's next episode. Yes, directed tangents. We do.
Okay.
try.
Yeah.
directed.
Yeah. MC
We don't
Bookworm.
have a producer anymore. No one's giving us direction.
There's no adult supervision with this.
Pure anarchy.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway,
Moving on.
moving on. I think we're actually about due for a break.
Yeah.
If anyone needs a break.
I mean, I guess just to put a wrapper on this, obviously, if you're listening to this episode, you're like, so what are you going to actually talk about? You know, you're talking about all these high ideas, and I've spent 50 minutes listening to you already, and like, when are you going to get to the point? The point is the journey. We're framing it out here for you in this episode, and it's going to be short because starting in Ep 2, we're actually going to take apart each one of these ideas and start talking about where it meets game systems and players and how it all ties together into what you do on Mythweavers, because each one of these has some things that are great to do in play by post and some things where you're like, approach that topic carefully.
Yeah.
Or approach that part of the game carefully because it's not exciting. And
that one, yeah, that part might be better to consider as a hybrid game.
Or to do with an external tool, like if you're going to have this gigantic thing where you're creating ships to go board on the fly to randomly, collect materials that you need to keep your fleet afloat while you're avoiding zombies on the Caribbean. Maybe Colin might want to consider an external tool that generates all those for him so that you're not spending all your time rolling dice just to say, what's in the hold of this ship?
Yeah.
We have a tool for that. Sarek made it.
Yeah, I know.
Now I just need to convert it to Python with a UI.
What are you waiting
If
for?
only you knew a few programmers, or were taking a programming class yourself.
I know.
Oh my
right?
gosh. Yeah, Colin, you're useless.
Oh, I can write
Right.
the program. The problem is standalone with a UI. I hear Eric knows how to do UIs.
No. You want David for UIs. I
All
do business. I do integrations. I put pieces together to make a whole.
So to summarize, if you're asking the question, what the hell are they going to talk about, especially after that mad ramble? Yes.
Come back.
We're doing
it all.
Dive each episode. This was just okay, this is coming, and it's big.
No, Colin
and-
did not just do code speak.
And then we're going to actually take those ideas and put them into practice in our Weaving Myths Does tabletop episodes that are interspersed every few.
Yeah. The
Every couple
next
months,
one
really.
just happened to overlap with the virtual meetup, which
Right.
we'll talk
We'll get
about
into.
after the break.
Not yet. Break time.
5-minute
After
break.
break.
I'm still here. We don't have a we'll be right back screen, so y'all are still stuck
don't?
with me.
Dang. Should
I
we just
blame
turn off our
Nathan.
cameras then? I'm not going to go anywhere. I'm just going to sit here and stare at the computer for 5 minutes.
I'm gonna go and look at a print. Because I
Not gonna
can.
Not going to be creepy at all. Promise.
I'm sorry, I can't do that.
Hey, pup.
5 minutes of eye contact.
Oh my gosh, I love my new my new camera. I wonder if my husband's ever gonna make dinner.
I've got 4 large prints to get done that are just, various tile holders and all that for the Betrayal at House on the Hill games.
We're going to talk about minis later, aren't we?
We really could. At some
should.
point. Not this season.
No, in like a free-for-all, like when we waste time.
Well, I mean, we've got, honestly, if no one needs a bathroom break or drink re-up, never mind I need a drink re-up. But wireless
Colin.
headset so I can still hear you assholes.
Yeah, unlike Nathan, but you walked away so you can't mute us.
Why would I do that? I always rebelled against being muted.
That's right. This is all the rebels that are left. We overthrew the establishment, and now we're in charge.
What the?
Oh,
Sorry.
it wasn't a waste of time for the last hour, Logan, or you would have left us.
This is the dance of the 7 veils.
Someone's phone vibrating.
No?
Oh, you know what it might have been? When I went over to look at the 3D printer.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Sometimes with little electronic noises sprinkled in. Because stepper motors make fun sounds.
Yes. Yes, they do.
Actually, not even a noisy printer, Andrew. You would have heard it from, well, where I'm sitting now.
Yeah, Colin, what's the distance to that printer? What, 10 feet?
8.
Enough. Oh man, I need to show you this picture of the thing that we're getting for our pool table. It's actually not the table itself. It's the accessories.
You can do show and tell in After Dark, Eric.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Since we're all here and we've burned enough time pretending that someone needed a bathroom break.
Yeah, I guess it was really Nathan that always needed the bathroom break and never us.
I think it really was.
We were ready to
kind of
go.
hung around. All right, so Eric.
All right, we're back from the break, so I'm going to stop making weird eye contact with the camera and go back to what we were supposed to be talking about. Which I think it's time now for our game of the episode. This is a feature that you'll get every time you visit here on Weaving Myths, where we're going to highlight one of the games that's currently advertising on Mythweavers. And in this case, we're making a shameless plug for our event in 2 weeks, which we'll talk about later, which is the Mythweavers Virtual Meetup number 2. And today's game of the episode is not mine, Logan. It's yours. This episode's highlighted game is Love Bites by none other than Sir Logan of Gilead. Love Bites is a D&D 5th edition game being run for our February Mythweavers virtual meetup and is set in a thriving port town infested with love bugs. The creature's bite causes the victim to fall in person with the next person they see for an hour or so, leading to quite a bit of embarrassment for the people of the town. Can the heroes discover the source of the bugs and how to get rid of them? Well, he's going to need some players, so it's time to sign up. This will be run 3 more players needed on February 20th, Saturday, February 20th, the 5 p.m. Eastern time slot.
Okay.
No, we've just been bitten, Logan. It has nothing to do with you. We're stuck for the next hour espousing all the greatness of Logan. Man, I love you, buddy. Love you, buddy. I really do. Colin, put it up on screen. Are we good?
Oh, you know what?
I laughed so hard.
I put it up on screen. I'm adjusting to needing to click transition.
That's right. You got to hit the transition so that we can show the advertisement.
Yep.
So
There's your
There it is.
advertisement.
This just makes me giggle so much. I love this.
It's going to be a hilarious romp. If
Yes, yes,
I
it
wasn't
is.
running a game in the following session, I would probably sign up for this.
If
All
I
right.
wasn't behind on my painting, I would.
And Logan's using Foundry as his virtual tabletop. Foundry is a great product. We'll talk about that at some point when we talk about some of
going
the
all out
later
There,
some
I
of the
click transition again. We're good now.
some of the later themes when we talk about things that you have to do in order to make games work better. Virtual tabletops and at least the ability to share and easily edit maps is totally a tool that you want to have in your toolbox for certain types of games. So
Yeah.
Foundry is freaking awesome. I mean, coming from different tools and seeing something that's completely web based, server side where you can just have your players join in and you can give them all the elements of your game. Man, it's good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Product placement done. Get your apps in. 3 players, February 20th, 5 p.m. slot. Love
Yes,
bites.
please. Please. This is just I like humor a lot. It doesn't matter what the genre is, there has to be humor in it for me. And this just ticks all those boxes.
It's gonna get there. Yep.
Yeah. So now, Colin.
Oh, fine. I'll read things. Juggling things sucks. So, it is time for the free-for-all. It is time for the free-for-all. So, in the free-for-all, we answer questions and generally just ramble worse than we already have for the past hour.
It's gonna be bad.
I'm not honestly sure it can be worse, but anyways, we'll start off like we always do with what's making us happy this week, starting with Amy.
Hi. So, much stuff. New webcam, as you guys can see.
Sharp.
Yes. I finally got this keyboard all set up. Got some new cables for it and everything. I'm getting my hobby space all together, which is where I also have my computer. Just, doing what I can.
The creature comforts of your quarantine.
Yes.
Yeah. Doing what I can to kick the pandemic blahs. Did a little more, trying to learn a little bit more on the airbrush. Still not great, but serviceable after a bit. So,
Well, I've seen some of your work. You're pretty awesome.
not with the airbrush.
Okay.
Getting the consistency right between the
Oh
right
no, we're
now.
talking about that, Colin.
Damn it.
What?
Nothing. Keep talking.
Keep going. Keep going, Amy.
Yeah, mixing the paints and the thinner together to get the right consistency so it doesn't pool when you're doing base coating or priming on minis is really hard. And I've got starting to get my minis organized, but I have to talk my husband into. I think I'm going to put my foot down. I'm going to get slat wall on that wall right over there so I can hang everything up on it. And I got to talk my husband into putting it up. So.
When you got that ongoing painting project, which I've seen some of the preview photos, and those are pretty swanky.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got the shipment from Colin, right?
I got the shipment
She
from
got
Colin.
the shipment.
Hold on a sec. No,
You can't pull out that shipment, Amy.
I'm not pulling out that shipment.
Okay. I was gonna say that can't appear on the podcast right now.
No.
It's not. I'm trying yellow skin. Because why not?
That is some impressive décolletage there.
Yeah. So yeah, trying things like that. I've got to finish up. I got vellum ivy leaves for the one that I've been working on for a while, so I need to finish it up now. But yeah, there we go. Got some cool stuff in.
Yeah. Awesome.
Your turn, Colin.
Oh, well, alright. What's making me happy is my wife and I finished our office move to the basement, which gave us a little more space and then conveniently put all that set up within, well, I used to be able to just kick across the floor, but dog
There's a big
decided
dog
that's where
in the
he
way.
lays now, so still better than having to run up and down the stairs 20 times in 5 minutes because, oh, I sliced the file wrong, and, oh, I forgot this, or, oh, I forgot that, and yeah.
Pretty cool.
So, yeah.
Yes,
Eric?
Exalted. You are making him happy.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No. Every time he calls me, he goes, hey, so this thing at the VFW. No.
Mr. Vice, a point
Yep.
of order.
He's the commander. Which means I have to shield him from a lot of things because I'm a good little XO.
That's right.
Aw. I thought you never served on a boat.
He knows exactly what an EXO is supposed to do, which is make his CO look good and take all the crap.
All right, fair
Well, I
enough.
wouldn't go that far.
Fair enough.
All right.
You done?
Yeah, I'm done. Eric, go.
Okay, so it's me. Well, I mean, my team at work has finally finished up one of our gigantic software projects. Just like any organization, you've got all sorts of bad old software that people built, and I'm trying to fix that. So we had a gigantic access database that took 45 minutes to generate a one-page report because it was bad.
Ow.
Really bad.
Ow.
We finally just rolled out the replacement for that. And that was a exciting lift. We spent 10 hours. The developer and I came in at 1 p.m. last Friday and left a little before 11. It might have been just a little after 11 when we actually left. 10 hours straight doing the data migration. Just the data migration.
Ow.
To finally kick out of the old one. And then we got in on Monday, and there was an email from the application users saying, "Can we turn the old one back on?" No. I would
Why
rather.
did they want that?
I would rather. Well, because they were worried that some of the things didn't go 100%. Like the data was so bad that we couldn't possibly get to 100%. So you're just gonna have to tell us where it's broken, and we'll fix it. I would rather spend the hours just literally doing data entry for you. Then go back to the old one. And you would too. You just don't know it yet.
That's programming without a plan, is what that sounds like.
Yeah, that pretty much was. So we finally got them convinced, and now we're over the hump, and they're realizing, oh wow, this is actually like really, honest to goodness, better than what we were doing before. Yes. Like, okay, so maybe there's some data errors where you have to take like 5 minutes to go fix them. But then when you hit the print report button, it happens in 5 seconds. It saves you time.
Yeah.
Lots of time. So, yeah, that was cool. And then I'm actually getting to do coding projects for Mythweavers. I mean, we spent a lot of time between last December, right? I mean, 2020 was a rough year, and it started really for us in December 19.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time, Rodrigo and I, just cleaning up things to make sure they wouldn't fall apart again.
Oh.
And now we're there. And now I'm working on new stuff. And
Did
new
you
stuff
figure
is
out-
fun for you guys. So, yes. What,
Did you
Emmy?
find what was causing those memory leaks?
Well, yeah. I mean, the one from back in December, that was we were trying to save some money and ended up slowing
we were
down
trying
the site
to save
a crawl.
money because AWS said, "Hey, go to this; it'll be better."
Yeah, we unfortunately
okay, yeah.
we listened to a sales pitch, and that one turned out to be a loser. But the good thing about that is Rodrigo is really smart about how AWS works now, which aside from making him really marketable in his job, also means that we're getting the benefit of the Weave is operating at a much better clip than it previously was.
Okay,
Um,
yeah, I
and
remember
now-
my husband saying, I wonder if they did this because they were pushing this, and that's what's causing the problem. So it sounds like
Yeah,
that
that
is
was
what.
basically it.
Yeah. Yep.
Go use our elastics because they'll work better
No,
Not
for
for
specific
how-
use cases and
Yeah.
not for
yeah,
ours.
specific use cases. Yeah, and my husband's like, I don't know if that's what they're doing because I know they were pushing elastics, and I
Yeah.
don't.
That's
Yeah,
So
what
that
happened.
I
Sorry.
had been on board as an admin for 2 months at that point. It was a great
However,
learning
you had
curve.
been tapped for a few things here or there when you were just a mod, so
Yeah, I know.
you
I
just
just didn't
hadn't been
understand the
handed the full
architecture.
keys yet.
Now all the architectures is in a good place, and we're working on kind of the next generation of stuff, which is completely redacted and is redacted. But I'm having a lot of fun, so you will too soon.
And Eric is redacted.
Yeah, I mean, I replaced my Discord icon instead of it's
With
an anchor. It's
redacted.
now it's a black box.
So
Yeah,
Eric,
it's
should I
redacted.
give the target announcement time?
Yeah, so
Yeah, that's
we're coming up on an announcement about the in-person meetup. You should come.
yeah.
There
If you
will
can.
be, yeah, there will be
It's gonna happen, Colin. I mean,
one of
we set out
the redacted projects at least.
out that schedule, and I'm ahead of schedule by
Why
3
would
weeks.
you say that? What? You know
Because
better. You know
I'm
better.
having fun, and when I'm having fun, it's gonna go fast.
Until
Go
something
fast.
breaks.
Yeah. I'll probably I
No,
will
Logan.
virtual.
Logan, I don't do UI. I do integrations.
He makes the UI work with the back end, the front end work with the
Nope.
back end.
Exactly.
side end.
Exalted. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, now it won't work smoothly because he said it's going great and he's ahead of schedule.
Now, okay, so yeah, this is where my wife says, "So what time did you actually come to bed last night?" It's a little after midnight, but I fixed the thing.
Exactly. My.
But yeah, so
I know that.
one
Wife's
of the
perspective.
one of our super secret projects, arguably right now the biggest one,
Yes.
should be having an unveiling at Mythweaver's meetup, Kalamazoo. The
Count on it. Count on it.
So show up, folks.
All right, so since we've mentioned Mythweaver's meetup stuff,
Let's just jump to that. We'll do it out of order.
Yay!
okay, well,
It's a tangent. We rearrange
fine.
things on the fly.
All right, so Mythweaver's meetup Kalamazoo Take 2. So we were supposed to do our first ever Mythweaver's in-person meetup last year at the end of May. And then this little virus thing happened. Which, well, yes, everything went to hell.
I blame everything.
About the point Gen Con canceled, we just kind of went, well, yep, we're done.
No. No.
It was like, there were hopes.
And we were never going to be as big as Gen Con.
Yeah, there were hopes
we're
and
as big as Gen
dreams,
Con
and it's
1.
like, you know what, when all the major conventions started dropping and then all the small ones started dropping, we just kind of went, no, there's no way.
Not worth it.
No, you didn't, Logan. No, you didn't. No one showed up. So...
Well, yeah, it was awkward when he walked up to the door of the VFW and it was closed.
So, we are doing
Everyone
the
was
in-person
full.
meetup in Kalamazoo. The target dates are July 24th and 25th. We're turning it into a 2-day event. Being hosted in Kalamazoo, Michigan, organized by me because I was the only one crazy enough to do it. Tickets...
Yeah,
no
I've
one
done-
else wanted to organize an
No.
in-person event.
No. I've done it. I'm good.
So tickets are $30 for Saturday, $20 for Sunday, or $50 for both days. And there is a discount for anyone that game masters a session at some point during the event. More information.
Information.
Yeah. So more information is available at myth-weavers.com and on the Warhorn event registration page. And I can show a transition. I'm learning. Boom.
Gosh weavers, not Dosh weavers.
Yeah, dash.
Dash.
I can speak. So this is if you go to the site and go to the Mythweavers events forum in the bottom right on the website,
The
you
home
will
of Chase.
see
Yeah,
the
Chase
events.
is home.
So all the information's there. If you're going to register, you go on over to Warhorn, which is where you're going to actually sign up. It'll give you directions to submit registration payment. Please, please, please make sure you attach in the notes what your site username is. Otherwise, I have to email someone and ask, and people don't like to answer those emails. It's important for the registration badges.
Because otherwise, no one is going to know who you are.
Badges.
Yeah,
we do need stinking badges.
Yes, there are badges.
I need to get organized. I forgot. I'll get them back.
Oh, Amy's not doing the badges. She's already forgotten.
No, I'm doing them. I will. I promise.
No, you're not. We outsourced it already.
Yeah,
that's right. You did.
There's a certain helper.
That's why I forgot.
There's a helper for it. They didn't volunteer themselves. I asked, but they said yes.
Yeah.
That has never gone wrong for anyone on the site that I've asked.
No, just ask Powderhorn. Colin, I had an inhale.
Not while I'm drinking, damn it. So yes, it's never backfired. Well, and then the individual spouse also volunteered themselves as well, so
it's all in.
And is doing some awesome stuff.
And is doing some awesome stuff too for people attending the event.
Yes, yeah.
Shimmy, you only have one hat and we know it.
So, it's going to be a blast. There is a link to the location on Google Maps where the event will be happening. There are hotels nearby. There is a Airbnb being set up that is being coordinated through the staff that one of our members is hosting. So if people want to reserve a room, I think it's something like $20 a night, $23 a night or some such. It's cheaper than any hotel is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, the hotel that is right next to the event is still, for a hotel, it's still pretty cheap.
And nice. It's not a flea bag.
It is not a like a 1-star questionable sanitation motel or anything. It's actually a nice little hotel right next to the Kalamazoo airport.
Yep.
There you go.
Well, for one, there's not enough room with the 3D printer there for you to crash. For two, Nels is going to snuggle up to you, and you don't want that.
He likes to sleep across people's chests to make sure they don't stop breathing in the middle of the night.
Right.
And he farts.
He gasses.
And he gasses
like
and
a mother.
He weighs 110 pounds, so when he lays across your chest to make sure you don't suffocate, he may actually be helping you suffocate.
It'll feel like that at least. He'll move as soon as he realizes you're not breathing after he licks your face.
Maybe.
He might have to lick other things first and then lick your face.
Mm-hmm. Accurate.
Wow. Phrasing, Amy. Phrasing.
Dogs are very flexible.
That's exactly what I meant.
Moving on.
Amy, your turn. Find some composure.
Composure. What? All right. Back to hooking off the highlighted game of the episode. It is time for Mythweaver's virtual meetup. Dos. Cupid's Revenge. And Colin. Oh, I should have asked you to grab that dragon.
That dragon?
Um,
That dragon right there?
yeah, that one.
That dragon right there.
Yeah. But you're not going to have time to find it and get it up. It's okay. Oh, hey!
Amy,
That dragon!
it's showing the site. We're good.
Okay.
Yep.
I can be caught.
Yeah, woohoo! So we are again doing another virtual meetup. It's the season of love or the season of love to hate. Either way, the game's coming up on February 20th and 21st. We'll have a lot of heart. Ha ha ha. Very good. We're still looking for additional game proposals and always looking for players. Our next episode will be the featured game and nightcap of day one, the February 20th episode. And Eric is the one running it. So this should be fun. Yeah. I'm looking forward to this one. I didn't get to participate last time. I am looking forward to this one. And
we need more players. We need more game masters.
Please, I need a.
Yeah, this is actually the third virtual meetup. Amy.
Yeah, this is the third virtual meetup.
Yeah, because we did the first one in place of the original Memorial Day physical meetup, in-person meetup.
And then we did a Halloween virtual meetup.
Oh, that's right, we did. You're right. I was wrong. I forgot about the Halloween one.
Oh man, the Halloween one? You mean the one where I'm pimping your daughter's splendid bat design that says Mythweaver's Halloween Meetup 2020?
Yeah. Yes. And we will have our lovely heart-toting dragon as part of the part of the swag for this one for GMs, like the sweatshirt that we gave out last for the Halloween one. So, there are perks to GMing, even if it is a virtual meetup. So, please
it's
no cost to sign up.
Oh, go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, no cost to sign up. All you have to do is volunteer, and all players have to do is say, "Yeah, I want to do it." You do in fact get badges, and I'm going to go fix that right now on Discord for you, Logan, because you are supposed to have the Mythweavers virtual meetup role. This will take all of like 2 seconds to actually go fix.
And God, what was I saying? I was going to say something. It was actually relevant to the current topic too.
We should probably post a link in the Mythweavers Discord for the Weaving Myths virtual meetup Discord.
We have.
Yeah, we have. Yeah. Oh yeah, but actually, that's it. There we go. I'm gonna drop the link for the virtual meetup here in the chat so that everyone can see it.
That works.
Yes.
Hey, why don't you drop the link for the in-person meetup too?
Yeah. So in-person meetup. In-person meetup, we should have done that too as well.
Yeah.
Slow.
It's been a few months. We're a little out of practice.
A little?
Yeah.
Like we were ever in practice to begin with. Okay. All right. So in-person meetup coming up in July. Virtual meetup coming up in 2 weeks. 2 weeks time. So time to get signed up and to get those games up. Yeah, we never actually practiced TIFF. That's the real truth of it. We're just winging it all the time. But we learn. We learn constantly. And we learn from you because now it is time for user questions.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah. And we'll start. We actually got one in the thread on site.
Bloody hell.
Oh,
yes, that one.
It was from Luke Neri, who says, I'm just catching up on Weaving Myths. I'm on season 1, episode 8. But I don't know if this question has been asked, so I want to ask it again. As a player, what can you do when you see some of your other players' post rates dropping if everyone else is still engaged and active? I'm new to the site, but I've seen one game die that way and a couple others in danger. It seems like no one wants to offend or skip when post rates fall off a cliff.
Yeah.
That's a great question, Luke. And we have addressed it a couple times, but it's important to keep talking about this because it's one of the things about play by post that there is a level of impersonality about doing things over the web when you don't see people. So you have to make people attached to the game in a way, and then you have to essentially be willing to realize that life takes precedence. And so if they can't post for them. Make sure you
Yeah.
have the agreement up front. It's like,
Yes.
hey, if you're not available, can someone, the GM or one of the other players, post for you every couple days just so we keep the story moving along? Very important. Have a Discord out of character channel. Having that Discord ping can be that thing that says, oh, yeah, I need to go post in that game.
Well, it's just also an easy way of keeping people involved, and talking with each other and like, hey, I had this idea for how this character could grow, and just sidebar things.
Yeah.
Um, so, and it's fast. It's not slow like
But
play by post.
the
So
critical
it's
part, though, is you just got to not lose hope. Never
yeah.
wait. Never wait. If you think I could post, even if it's just an OOC post that says, hey guys, still here, looking forward to this or that, or here's my plan, here's where I'm going, just post it. Don't wait. Waiting is the enemy.
And some people, like myself, especially during the winter months when I'm dealing with basically seasonal effectiveness disorder, um, that I'm not diagnosed, but I get the winter blues so bad and unmotivated so many times. I just need prodded going, oh yeah, and then I go post. So I don't get offended. I know my problems, and depression is one of them, especially
Right.
during the winter months. So
The absolute worst is the self-destructive guilt spiral. I didn't post and I feel bad about not posting, so I don't post. That is where it all falls apart. And you know how you can break it? Go post. Even if you're not the person who's stuck in the spiral, just posting can be a way of reaching out to that person because let's face it, we've been stuck in a pandemic for 11 months now. We're all feeling it. The stress is real. I have groups of friends who love to do things who are saying, I just don't feel like doing the thing that I love to do. And you got to
yeah,
reach out to them and say, look, it's okay. I'm not feeling the post either, but I'm just going to say, hey guys, still here. We're all still friends. Let's keep the game going. Yeah, OOC posts count as posting. Anything that turns that little folder icon from blue to yellow,
Yeah.
good to go. Do it.
yeah.
Don't hold back.
Hey, we're all going through it. I have bailed so many times on the eldest Chibi playing World of Warships with him on Wednesdays that he doesn't even ask anymore, and I need to get back in the habit of that. And you know, something I'm pushing myself to do is to get organized and have a schedule. That's another thing that might help, even if no one else has posted and it's just an OOC out of character post. Have a schedule. Tuesday night's the night that I post in this game. So guess what? I'm posting out of character in this game.
Yep.
Yeah.
And yeah, Logan points out, keep people informed.
Yeah.
I'm bad about this, and everyone's bad about this. But the better you are about it, I had a bad week. There was just a lot going on because we were doing that big software load. It really started on the Friday night when I staggered home at close to midnight, and I've just not recovered. And my wife would argue I'm not even recovered now because I'm here and I'm not paying attention to her. So for me,
Yeah.
After Dark is going to be short,
Yes.
simply because I'm
Not dying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, communication's good. I just went through and did a bunch of that myself, which has helped actually. It's helped me. It lets everyone know what's going on, but it's also helped me going, no, I want to post. I want to get back into this. So yeah, just movement.
I
Tiffany
mostly
point.
just rant a lot.
Yeah, Tiffany points out the what seems obvious, but let's just go ahead and sometimes it's okay to say, "Hey, everything okay with you?" Because let's face it, sometimes it's not. Sometimes you just need someone to ask that question is so that you can say, "I'm sorry, I'm doing teaching virtual school and doing a graduate degree program and dealing with an illness with the horses that I tend all simultaneously and it's just piled up and I got no time. Sorry, it's gonna yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and
And
then yeah.
I just need to talk. And it's like, great, I'm here to listen.
Mhm. The posting expectation too. Logan points out an obvious thing. Some games are just slower.
Yep.
The whole idea of daily posting, we we kind of treat that as the elephant in the room because everyone when they put out an ad's like, yeah, once a day or once every other day, yeah, that's the posting rate that we're going to keep. It's not real. It never has been. No one ever actually achieves that, and
Just
it's okay if you don't lie to yourself and say that I'm a failure as a GM or a player because I can't do daily posting. It's a game, people. Just a game, Jimmy.
and just because, it needs to be said since post rate came up, that's why the post once a day games always die. They always die. Lives change, people get stressed out, the guilt spiral is real. Don't don't paint yourselves into a corner with post rate. And if you're the game master and you set out with a 3 posts a week schedule and life just gets chaotic on you, talk to your people. Talk to the
Communication.
party. Hey guys, can we go? Damn it. But yes, it's talk to them. Maybe everyone's on board with, hey, let's slow the post rate down right now because, the GM's got some chaos they're dealing with. Hey, one of
Or
the other
maybe
players, and we've all been playing together for 6 months, one of the other players needs to slow things down a bit.
hmm or take a tangent, do a little sidetrack thing where you don't need to involve them.
Yep.
Lots of ways to deal with this, and we've talked about that in previous episodes, so we're not going to cover it all here. But suffice it to say, Luke Neri, please read our backlog, watch all those episodes. A, they're hilariously entertaining, but B, we covered lots of great ideas about how to deal with play by post is just slower and it's okay.
Yeah.
All right, next question.
Okay.
Favorite Girl Scout cookie?
Samoa's.
Samoa's.
Tagalongs.
What?
That's my second favorite. So I
Oh,
can't blast around that. Those are my second favorite.
Unless it's a Thin Mint straight out of the freezer.
okay. Okay. Jimmy says caramel delights. For those
Which
of you
are
who are different,
Samoa's.
who are differently geographically challenged, those are the same as Samoa's. The only difference, I think, is that some of them are hexagonal and some of them are circular.
Nope.
No, it's
I
the
had to
company
check the
Girl
Girl Scout
Scouts.
website just to actually make sure I remember the right name. And they say Caramel Delights / Samoa's.
Yep. No, they are exactly the same, but
They're,
different bakers make them in slightly different shapes.
they have two bakers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, one calls them Samoas, the other one calls them Caramel Delights. And there's one or two others that they do that with, but most of them they've been able to keep the same name.
Yeah, I mean the tagalongs are the ones with peanut butter, right, Amy?
Yes.
Yeah, and then it used to be Dosey Dos.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. That's why I think I messed with that. Okay. As long as you didn't say that you like the shortbread as your favorite, I would
I
not
do
have to disown you.
enjoy. I do enjoy the trefoils dipped in milk occasionally, but no, they're not my favorite. It's the
Mm,
tagalongs or a fresh Thin Mint out of the freezer because that is where I store my Thin Mints, and they are so good cold.
yeah,
You know,
Thin mints are freezer food.
haven't really touched Girl Scout cookies that much, though, since I think it was that first year in Bahrain
Oh
in the
boy.
Navy. Oh. You see, the Girl Scouts donate cookies.
Uh huh.
And not a small amount of cookies. We're talking, I think it was like December, January. It was still decently cool outside for the Middle East,
Mm-hmm.
and the harbor compound isn't on the base. It's a drive. And we had a forklift roll over with a pallet of Girl Scout cookies. For a 120 person at the time harbor patrol unit. A pallet of Girl Scout cookies. That was double high.
Yeah. I throw them in the freezer and I pulled them out. Actually, I found a box in the freezer and we just ate it recently.
Mm-hmm.
So you get enough, you forget about them long enough, they can last a year.
We ate so many of those, and there was that rush because everyone wanted their favorites at first, and then you realized there's so many of even your favorites that they're never going away, and then the command started ordering people to take boxes home and give them to your landlord, give them to neighbors, just get them off the pallet and out of the compound.
Yes. We can't have them melt.
No, that would be horrible.
Mr. Andrew J., you just have to tell us where you are, and we'll ship them to you.
I did.
They'll show up.
Yeah.
I when the eldest was in Nebraska for 2 years, I basically for each year I had a box. It was about this big that I would ship him, and it was mostly packed with Girl Scout cookies. So he got 2 shipments while he was out there.
Nice. All right.
I'm a good mom.
So I think we hit the Girl Scout cookies. So, Colin in a bikini, yay or nay?
This came from Discord when you asked for questions,
No.
didn't it? Where did
Please.
this one come from?
No. I would
We
not
all
put my
know.
husband in a bikini.
We all know it's Discord.
No.
That's true.
No.
Of course it would be from the Discord.
Yeah. Except for Exalted. You definitely need to do that for Exalted once.
Oh god, no. Exalted wants to see me wearing
I
Marine
will-
Corps silkies.
I'll find a man.
Eric knows the
to me.
reference. Amy's going to be horrified once she looks up silkies.
I am not doing that.
You
Yeah,
should look them
not
up.
even
They're an
starting.
they are an official uniform item.
No, not even.
Colin in a thin strap tank top, doing beach volleyball, playing with the boys.
See, Exalted knows silkies are comfy.
Yeah, man.
That's fine. I don't need to look them up.
All right. You know what?
I don't need to give my husband ideas.
We're actually at an hour and 27 minutes, so I think I'm going to hold on to these other questions for later.
That sounds fine.
Yeah, that one question is going to start a fight between the three of us.
Yeah, and the next one is just, yeah, we can talk about that later.
That's a good one for the free for all. The last question.
Well, we're in the free for all.
We're on the free for all.
I mean, the beginning of the free for all. We can start the free for all with that.
Fair.
Okay, hold off on that one until Ep 2. Yeah, Chimmy, if we're going to do a fight, you're going to be in the guest slot.
No, I am not asking my daughter to draw Colin in a bikini. It will not be like Chicken Rodrigo.
Ooh, that would be awkward.
You know, I don't think anyone brought that up until you just now.
No, is Bikini Colin like Chicken Rodrigo?
Yeah, they've got a horribly photoshopped image already.
I know. I'm still not doing it.
Yeah,
No.
but you brought up the artist.
No, Chimmy, you cannot. I will find you.
You
I will
won't like the result.
Amy, you're the one that gave them this idea. Alright.
You can, but you don't want the result.
Yes, please. You don't want me to go Mama Bear.
Alright, anyway.
Yeah, so... Alright, so I think that wraps that up, which means that it's time for the outro. I got this. Alright, so before we actually wrap up the show, I just wanted to remind everyone that Weaving Myths is made possible by our Patreon. If you'd like to support us and get access to the sweet, sweet rewards available to you, definitely consider signing up. Amy is actively working on restructuring that rewards tier to make it even more exciting.
I haven't forgotten. I'm just trying to figure it out.
I'm sure she'll have it figured out in the next 2 weeks.
Can
maybe four.
Patreons get a VIP
4.
badge?
I'll give you 4.
Maybe. We'll talk.
Yeah. Patreon VIP badge at the Mythweavers meetup?
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
All right.
That
Anyway,
we might
moving
just
on.
throw in as a Benny. Yeah. So, but thank you for watching. If you didn't catch this live, you can always post on Mythweavers, the forums, or our Facebook or our Twitter with any questions or corrections or other general correspondence. And in the worst case, you can always email us at weavingmythspodcast@gmail.com. We love hearing from you and can't wait to share your stories on the show. We absolutely will, as long as they're not completely inappropriate. If they're marginally inappropriate, we'll share them and laugh at them. So it's up to you. I'm Eric, and tonight I've been joined by the magnificent Amy.
Bye!
And Colin.
Been fun, folks.
Thanks for listening, and keep on weaving those myths.